Welcome, welcome. My name is Kwabena. I want to share with you money problems, money solutions. I was trying to share, but the network was bad, so hopefully the network will be better this time around. Money, to a lot of us, is a problem. It's a problem that we got introduced to when we were born. And the mission of a lot of people, not only in our country, but in the world, is to work to get money, is to get material possession. And material possession and money is their only agenda in life. To most people, the reason they go to school, the reason they get the career, the reason that they are desperate and they are pushing themselves every time is because of money, because they want to get money. Some of us would want to deny it, would want to say that it's not true, and they get fulfillment and joy in their work, in their profession. But the bottom line is that a lot of these issues in this life, a lot of problems that most people go through in this life, they are money related. Whether it's the health issue, is the house issue, whether it's clothing, is the children's school fees, where we live, where we choose, the country that we choose to live. Some people even marry because of that. And so money can be a problem for people all their lives. And as a matter of fact, the statistics, the data available shows that most people in this world will never overcome the money problem. Maybe 99% will never, 95% or 90% will never live their life without worrying about money, will never have enough, just even at a personal level. You will never have enough of money to live their dreams, to live the freedom that they want. Because we live in a world that is structured, said that we are all, one way or the other, controlled by the access of money that we have. And I think that it's because of how how money was introduced to us. The understanding that they put in us as to what money is, how we have to get it, and how we call some people who have it rich, and how we call some people who don't have it poor. And so how this thing they call money was introduced to us is a major hindrance and is a major reason why money is a problem to a lot of people around the world. A certain category of people virtually don't just have what it takes, or don't just have the money to even buy food every day. So it becomes a problem to them every day. And that's why, when you're born into a family and you are growing up, you see that maybe the father, the mother would want one of their children or their children to go to school, to become, the professions that we know. Some of them to travel. Some people go through all kind of ways and means to travel to another country so that they can get something to take care of their family. And that is all about money. I remember when we were growing up, you will see your family people, and some of them will just travel to another country, go and hustle all their lives, and it's all because of money. And the whole understanding of the families, the whole understanding of us growing up is that if you want to get money, then you have to work for money, and money is not easy to come by. And so they program us wrongly, and that's why money has become a major problem for a lot of people around the world. It's not only in Africa. In Africa, they have tried to tell us that we are poor, and it's part of the programming. And we also look around and we see that we are. There's a lot of things that don't add up. And so we accepted that we are poor, and we accepted that, some people are rich. And so we will go through everything to go to that country that we think are rich. And then hopefully we think that we will solve the money problem. And almost everybody who gets there then would realize that that problem is not easily solved with just getting a job and with just getting paid, because the world is structured. The only way you solve the money problem is, first of all, demystifying how the money knowledge was packaged to us. So my name is Kwabena. I am talking about money problems and money solutions. All of us have certain understanding of money. All of us have our own philosophy, our own ideas of money. And a lot of it is just what was bequeathed to us, what our parents told us, what our grandparents told us, what our family told us, what our friends told us about money. And almost all of them did not have enough for them to be free from the problems of money. There are two problems of money, I think. The one is when you don't have it, and they say that the other one is when you have a lot of it. There's no in between anyway. It's either you have it or you don't have it. You don't have to be a billionaire to be so much rich, but there's a certain limit of money that people can have, that they try not to worry about what they will eat, what school fees they will pay for their children, or where they will stay, or the dream that they have for their lives. They will have the money to finance the dream. And so I am of the thinking that one of the ways to demystify this idea about money is to understand that the world has been structured, said that a lot of the people who live in this world will forever, all their lives, worry about money. I always think about why the company that you work for, which always declare a lot of profit at the end of the year, will never pay you enough so that you will be free financially. Some people work for companies like in Ghana, some of these multinationals. At the end of the year, they declare a lot of profit, millions, and yet they pay their people in thousands. And I'm thinking, why would they not pay them a lot, maybe 10, 20,000, 50,000 for the average manager or the cleaner per month, so that at the end of the year they could have so much not to work again? It's because the way the modern society was structured was said that they want you to come to work every day, and they think that one of the ways for them to control you is to pay you barely, so that I pay you as much as you can get food to eat and get some transportation and some clothes and where to stay, so that you can come to work. Are they wrong? I don't know whether they are wrong, because if there is trouble, you will run away and they would have to solve their trouble. So that's the way the world is structured. But the world can also be structured well in your mind, in terms of how you understand this thing that you are going to work for all your life. And yet a lot of us just live this life not studying this thing they call money and how it operates. And so there's money problems and there are many solutions, and hopefully you'll be able to solve your own personal money problems. The solution is not so much as to the money that is with you, but how you understand the world and how it operates in terms of money, especially because all of us were introduced to money at a particular point in time. Whether somebody sat you down or somebody just told you that this is money, and how if you want to be rich, this is how you work for it, and things like that. So we see money as something that is tough to get, something that is in scarcity. And this is the mindset of the one who has money problems in terms of the lack of it. Those who work for money all their lives. majority of them, or almost all of them, think that it is tough to get money. It's very difficult to get money. That's why you are looking for a job 3, 4, 5 to work so that you get money. If they decided not to pay you, you will not take that job. There are a lot of the people in this world that if they decided not to pay you, you will never show up to work. So we have that thinking that it is tough for us to go, hustle, work, take the pain so as to get money. It's a thinking that they have put in us. It's a thinking. And yet those who have a lot of the money don't look at money that way. They look at money as that is in abundance and something that is to be had from creativity, from innovation, entrepreneurship, financial knowledge, from perseverance, from diligence towards a certain goal. So those who have enough of money don't just think of money as something that is in scarcity, something that is so difficult to get. They look at life from the abundance point of view, and that's why they have money. And if you look at this word, for instance, most people's understanding, of life is that life is tough, it's challenging. Money is a problem, and it's a challenge that they have to overcome. And it is that thing that is between them and their dreams. And usually our dreams are to own a house, to own a car, to go to school, to send their children to school, to get nice clothes. And that is how we understand money. And that is how they push money to us. So we think that money is tough and is a problem between us and our destiny. But this money that they say that we should have, and which they have programmed us to think as problem, is that the poor think that between them and the house that they have to have, the car that they have to have, the school that they want to go, is money. And so we've been programmed to think that it is tough to get that money to get to that vision. And if you see how the poor understands money, it is only something that they have to get something for themselves. The people who have been able to solve the money problems in terms of not the lack and the livelihood, the people get money just for the livelihood, for the house, for the car, for the clothes, for the school fees, just that. Those people think of money as very tough to get, is in scarcity, and they have to struggle to get it. That really is not the fact. The fact is that it's an information they gave us. And so all of us would have to just sweat, worry, go to work, get a visa, travel, go to another country, go and do another course, maybe fight to get into a political position, to steal it, become an armed robber, to go and shoot somebody to get money. All this is because of the information they gave us on money. And that is what, to the majority of the world's population, money is difficult. Money is tough to get. Money is in scarcity. It's because it's an idea that they push on us. The other ones who have been able to move themselves from this thinking are not looking for money for the car that they have to drive. They are not looking for the money for the house that they have to live in. They are not looking for the money for the school's children, for the school fees of their children. They look at money as an idea. They look at money as something that you get by solving problems for society. They look at money as a product of innovation, of creativity, of entrepreneurship, of financial knowledge, of diligence, of perseverance in solving a problem for mankind. And so you see that they raise their purpose so high that the only problems that they get to encounter are the problems that come between them and the life purpose that they have for themselves. So majority of the world's population is just look at money as the hindrance, is that thing that you have to overcome to get a car, to get to school, to buy a house for yourself, not even to take care of another person. And that is why money becomes challenging to a lot of people. So they are looking for the job so that they can get the salary to get the nice car, to get the nice house, to buy nice clothes. That is how majority of the world, maybe 90-95% of the world, that's how we see money. And those who have the abundance of it, the other day they were saying that 1% of the top richest people in the world control 50, their wealth is more than 50% of the West population or so, something like that. Because those people, there are many factors, but one of it is that they see money as a product from innovation, as a product of committing to solving a problem of the world. It's a product out of entrepreneurship. It's a product out of financial knowledge. They are not looking for the money to solve the food situation in the house, or the car situation, or the school fee situation. Their thinking of money is a whole different, is so much different from the rest of the world. And that's why money is a problem to a lot of people around the world. And if you look at it, most of us in a developing country like Africa, for instance, our only solution then becomes we pray to God to help us to solve the money problem. And this is the reason why a lot of people worry about money. Because we have not shifted that thinking that money is just a derivative, so to say, out of you committing to a cause and looking at the world, the problems that people have, and looking at what you can solve to get it. And so they told us that you just have to go to school, and when you finish the school, get a nice job. And when you get a nice job, you get a nice pay. And a lot of people who have worked for 10 years, 20 years know that that was a lie they told us. That is a fallacy. You will never solve the money problem just by working for money for livelihood. It never solves. Why? Because you are always changing your need. You always want to get better. There is always depreciation. There is always tear and wear. So that money problem will never be solved if your thinking of money is only to take care of yourself, to take care of your family, to take care of your immediate environment, to work for it, just for livelihood. And so it's a major thing for you to shift into the way the people who control money and who have a lot of it think about money. And they think about money as an idea. They think about money as a product of entrepreneurship, as a product of innovation, as a product of solving specific problems for society. They're not looking for money to buy the Land Cruiser. They're not looking for the money to buy the big TV in your room. They're not looking for money to build a very big mansion. And so people who look at money from that point always have money problems at that personal level, because money for them is just for livelihood. And so my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about money problems and money solutions. And money is something that a lot of the world's population, not just in Africa, a lot of the world's population worry every day. That's why people change jobs. That's why people move from country to country. That's why people become thieves. People become armed robbers. People become, dishonest in their dealings, in their business transactions, just because they want a better life. And that problem is never solved. Money problem is only solved when you see money as a product of the solution that you are providing for this world and the structures that you build around it. And so, Africa is, as usual, we've been trained to look at life from the problem's point of view. So we look for supernatural, we look for mysticism, we look for the spiritual to get money. Three things, they either work for the money, or maybe two, or they pray for God to help us to get money. And so many of our people don't see the importance of developing themselves to get the required knowledge, the right knowledge on money, so that this money problem at least can be solved to a certain limit. Because money is not if you have grown, if you're 30, 40, 50 years, you know that when you were growing up, what they told you about money is really not the fact. If they told you that you become a doctor and then all your money problems will be solved, you have become a doctor, and you know that is not true. If they told you that if you become a lawyer, all your money problems will be solved, you have become a lawyer, and if you're a very honest lawyer, you know that thinking that they told you is not enough to solve the money problems. If they told you to become an engineer, and when you become an engineer, all your problems will be solved. You get a good job, and then all your problems on money will be solved, and you become very rich, it is not true. Because that was an error. It's an error that they told us. So your decisions, your choices when you were growing up were just centered on you getting money. A lot of people will never move out of Ghana if they had enough millions to live on. A lot of them will stay. Why? They moved because they had a certain understanding of money. And yet they have not been able to solve the money, because they are trying to solve the money problems at the livelihood level. And at the livelihood level, money problems will never be solved. So instead of us focusing on creative thinking, on innovation, on entrepreneurship, on financial knowledge to solve our money problems, many people look for magic, look for miracles, look for salaries, change countries, and they don't have any financial strategy to get wealth or to get rich. And a lot of us are even talked out of it. They told us that don't study money, don't follow it too much. Yet we go to work for 8 hours, for 10 hours a day, every day, to be paid. And if at the end of the month they don't pay us, we get angry. Because the reason most people go to work is because of the money. It's not because they love the work. And yet when you have to have a better knowledge on money, they try to talk you out of it. As if they call it mammon, they call it something else. And yet we make all our decisions around money. When you see people fighting, a lot of them, we see friends fighting at a point where there is no agreement. Go and look for it. The real reason usually is something about money. If you see top people fighting, go and look for it. So usually they have something to do with money. If you look the husband and the wife fighting, look for it. Beneath it is the money. So the money is that important that people would have to study it and look at it scientifically, look at it socio-economically, because there are data or there are research, available. There are principles on money. There are laws on money. There are things that people have done to create money. But they have told us that don't study that. Look up to God. God will bless you. And even if you look at God's word, there are principles. So people have been conditioned. If you are going to work and they teach us everything about the work and how well we have to do it, why are they not teaching us about how well we also have to make money? Because it comes to a crunch, we still have to have money to solve a lot of things beyond the livelihood. And so the world has been programmed and structured to control people and let people worry about money all their lives. Because the understanding that is available for a lot of people, or to a lot of people, on money is weak. It's at the personal level. So we see money as something that is very difficult to get. That is in, what is the English word? It's tough to get. It's not available. It's not for everybody. They even tell you that not everybody can be rich. Who says so? Who said that not everybody can be rich? But can everybody breathe air? Can everybody drink water? So they have programmers. And the one who is telling you that not everybody can be rich, he's working to be rich. He goes to work every day. He's praying to God to make him rich. Yet he's telling people not everybody can be rich. And they even tell you all fingers are not the same. So which one are you? The short one or the tallest? So there are a lot of sayings that they have put in us when we were growing up on money. And that is the reason why we continue to have money. And if you don't take care, you can have money problem all your life. And it's not the abundance of money that you have to deal with. It's the lack of it. That we are always worrying about what to eat, what to wear, where to stay, what school fees to pay, what health issues that you have to handle. Just around your family. You're not even thinking about going to build school for the village school that you went, or going to build a hospital for your community, or building road in your neighborhood, or building a city. We are not even talking of that level of money. Just the personal level. Over 90% of the world's population worry about money just at the personal level. What to eat, what to wear, what do I have to send to my mother, what do I have to send to my father. That just at that. And a lot of it is because not that money is difficult to get, not that money is so much in shortage, so to say, but it's because of the programming. So the words that they put in us, we have believed them. We have believed them so much that we think they are true. And so they tell us that money is difficult, money is tough, you have to work for it, you have to get salary for it. That's why we are looking for the better course in the university. We are looking for going to write ACCA, going to get technical certificate and all those. Just because when you think you have that, you think that when you have that, you get a better job. And then when you get a better job, you see that it does not solve the money problem. Because what solves the money problem is right information on money, and you knowing that it is not in scarcity. It's available in this world, and everybody can have enough if everybody knows the right information. Not everybody will be billionaire, maybe, and who even says that is not possible? Who told us? because they have pushed us. You can program people to think in a particular way for a long time that they believe that is true, and all of us have been programmed that way to believe that it is true. And so when somebody even talks about something like that, you think that that person is ideal. It's an ideal situation. Is what is it? It's esoteric. But you have to be that ideal. You have to be that esoteric if you want to, because money is an idea. Money is an idea. So that's why we don't believe in the patience. We don't believe in the processes. We don't believe in the creation, in the system, in the structures to get money in abundance. Because they told us just to work for it. And when you get salary, you think that you have money, and that's what there is to it. And that's why we have not. So most people, the 90% of the world's population, will never have an idea that they will commit to, develop that idea, look for a problem in the society, solve it, build business around it, build something, or partner with somebody around it, so that that thing can affect so many people and you can monetize that thing. And that's where money, in terms of the scarcity of it, is solved. But they never tell us that. They told us just to work for it. And so money problems can mainly be solved by the way we think about money and the way we see life, or the way we see the world economically. So if your core belief is that it is so difficult to get money, they put that in you. And if your belief is that not everybody will be rich, they put that in you. And if your belief is that you have to work for it, and the best way to get money is to just get salary and keep saving a little, you believe that. But the thing is, you have not challenged yourself the other way. You have not challenged yourself. You have not asked. You are 30 years, you're 40 years. If those things they told us were true, you will see it. But you see that is not true. And yet we have very little knowledge to question that, because for you to get into the solution, for you to get into the money solution, there is a personal philosophy that you have to change your money. There is personal development that you have to change your money. There are myths that you have to blow. You have to kill them so that you can see the money as something that is in abundance. And something that comes as a result of ideas, of solutions, of problem solving for society. Don't see money as hard to get. See money as something in abundance and unlimited. That's a philosophy. And that's why the few people who control money, that's how they think they see the world. They see the world from the abundance point of view. They see the world as money is unlimited. Nothing can stop it. They think that it continues to flow. That's a currency. That's what they call it. They call it currency, It's current. It flows. But they told the 90% of the world's population, particularly in Africa, that is difficult to get. And that is shortage. Stuff. It's in high demand. Not everybody will have it. So they told us those things. That the best we can do is just go work and go to God and pray that God will make you rich. And I think that is one of the major hindrances to Africans, where we are waiting for God to make us rich. Because if you are religious, if you're a Christian, you don't want to offend God. You don't want to do anything to offend God. And so if they told you that God will make you rich, you believed that when you were a child. But now you're 40 years. Do you still believe it? No, because it's an idea. If you believe that God will make you rich, why are you not believing that God will put that clothes on you? Why are you not believing that God will feed you food? Because money, the way God made it, is a product of idea, of innovation, of creativity, of risk-taking, of perseverance, of financial knowledge, of entrepreneurship, of solving problems for society. So that anybody who commits to solving those things with the right knowledge will get it. So God is not pouring money in a church. Those with structures who control wealth, this is how they see money. This is how they see money. And that's why they control money. So it doesn't matter the level of money that you have. The major thing, or the amount of money that you have, the major thing is that you shift that mind, that limiting mind. A lot of people have worked, they work somewhere and they are frustrated. They are not happy with their life. They go to work, they are in pain all their lives. But they have to work because they cannot keep the mortgage, or they cannot pay the school fees, or they cannot keep the home running unless they get the salary. And they will never spend time to even study the money, because they have made the money a spiritual thing. They have made the money something mystical, something supernatural. Money was printed by men who don't even believe in God. They printed them here. They wrote them. The Bank of Ghana governor signed on it. That shows that there are systems, there are structures in this world to get that paper into paper. So yes, God gives power to get wealth. But I'm talking about money. And that wealth is the source. You see, the one who can think creatively, that's the wealth. The one who can think innovatively, the one who can think of risk, entrepreneurship, business, solving solutions, solving problems for society. That is the wealth that God gives. He's not pouring that money on you. So shift the mind. Decide that money is not just as ideas come to us all the time. That's how money is. It's unlimited in this life. Just as we breathe all the time. That's how money is. Especially the money to get you to solve the problems that you're committed to solve. Not the one to eat. The one to, if you believe that God created you to do a certain thing with your life. That money to make you do that thing is unlimited. Never believe that is limited. Never believe that is in scarcity. The belief is the hindrance. That belief that is so difficult to get. That belief that you are born poor. That belief that your family does not have money. That is the problem. And that's why very few people are able to shift that thinking. You see how the world jubilates on sports and entertainment, when everybody has opinion on football, on politics, things like that. But when it comes to creative idea to create prosperity, because when you have prosperity, you have options. Those ones, people are not interested. People just want free money. So don't believe that the school and the certificates will get you rich. That's a lie they told us. That's why they made us go to school, study, become any profession that you want. And the best of profession is the one that is towards the one you're passionate, you have vision to solve. That is just a profession. That is something else. It's different from the money and how to get it. Some people look for job all their lives, but they never have a strategy to get rich. Never one. They don't even write one, even if it didn't come through. All their lives, they have never sat down to plan that at least in the next 20 years I want to be rich and I want to have $1 million. Just a plan. Write it somewhere. Even if it doesn't come through, who will kill you? No, nobody will kill you. Just write something. But the first thing is that you have to believe that you want to be rich or you can be rich. And it is worth it to be rich, to have money. At least, even if you're not a billionaire, something that you can use to finance your vision, the reason why you're on this earth, beyond just working for food, for clothes, for car, for shelter, because that is the talk of the poor, and that poor is 90% of the world's population. So when you meet them, they're talking about, oh, I built a new house, I have a new car. That's the poor. They don't see the world's problem. They are not responsible, and that's why they are the poor. The ones who see the problems are the ones who control the wealth, because the money is just a product of people solving the problems. So write the vision down. You want to be rich, write it down. Even if you have a job, write it down. Have a strategy. Convince yourself that it is worthy to become rich. Don't see yourself as a poor, because most people think that they will never be rich. You call somebody, you try it. Call somebody who thinks that is not anything. When you meet them, you say, "Ah, rich man, how are you?" You see how they will change. You see how they will ask you, "Why are you calling me rich?" Just try it on anybody. You will see. Because people innately, subconsciously don't believe that they are rich. They believe that they are poor. They believe that they are marginalized. They believe that they are victims. They believe that they have to struggle. They believe that they have to go through a lot of pain in this life. That is what they told us. So have a resolution to say, I want to be rich. Write it down. And then have a plan for it. And then know that it is an idea beyond food and clothing and shelter. If you decide to solve problems for society, you will see quickly how money is easy to get to finance that vision. People have just written a business plan and they got financing. People have just registered a company, opened an account, started 1 or 2 jobs, and they wonder how much money came to them. And somebody has worked for 20 years and they will never see that money. And you registered a business, got some supplies to another company, boom, and 200,000 hit your account, 500,000 hit your account, because money is an idea. And yet, if you were working for money all your life, they will pay you 1,000, 2,000. The whole year is how much? If you're an honest person, the whole year, if they pay you 1,000, the whole year is what? It's 12,000. Yes, somebody registered a business, got a supply, went somewhere to solve a problem for somebody, and they gave him a check 50,000, 100,000. So go and do it, and your profit is 2%, 3%. Because money is an idea. When you start to see from that, when you start to see that money follows those who are solving problems, thinking, creative thinking, innovation, entrepreneurship, financial knowledge, critical thinking, that is how money flows. Money is not flowing on your salary. That's why they told you. That's why they control the rest of the world. And that's why they control us. So they told you that when you move to America, you'll be rich. And so when you went, you look for 10 jobs, 30 jobs, 20 jobs. And you believe that when you go there, you'll be rich. You are not going to be rich just because you move out of Africa to another continent or to another country. You will just solve the normal problems, the food, the clothes, the shelter, the children's school fees. It doesn't matter what profession that you have. Unless you go beyond solving problems for society, you will never see the money that is unlimited. The money that is not that is not scarce, so to say. The money that is available for everybody. So people who have ever registered any business, try to do any business, the first thing that hits people is that, wow, I never thought that you could just pick this cell and see this kind of money. Because they never thought that money, the only reason people have money, genuine ones, not the ones who are stealing, is because they solve problems. So the people who understand money proper in this world are people who are looking for problems to solve. Problems to solve, innovation, they're thinking, they're creating, they're planning, they're taking risk. Yes, there are problems, but they are solving the problems beyond their personal house and their cars. And that is why they get money. So that is where the money is an idea. That is where money is unlimited. When you're looking for money just for your personal enjoyment, and you don't care about the society, you don't care about nothing around the world, you will not get that money, because money does not flow that way. Money follows creative thinking. Money follows innovation. Money follows proper financial knowledge, proper understanding of the world. Money follows people who are solving problems for society. That's how money follows. So money is not, when you go to church and you're praying and they tell you, oh, God will bless you. That is just for the food. The one that is unlimited, it does not come that way. Because there's a law God set that money follows thinking. Money follows people who are solving problems. And so they told us that Africa is poor. We believe it. It's not true. They told us that if you go to school, you'll be rich. We believe it. They told us that when you get a good job, you'll be rich. We believe it. They told us that if you move out of Africa and you go to America, or you go to England, you'll be rich. The data, the evidence does not support that. You only tell that to the one who is poor, who's only looking for money to build a house, to buy a car. That is the one that you tell that when you move out of Africa, you'll be rich. The one who sees the world differently from the point of view of problem solving. Those are the ones that control wealth. Those are the ones that control destinies. Those are the ones see money as unlimited. The other ones who are just working for it. Money is limited. Money is limited to them. And so my name is Kwabena. I am talking about money problems and money solutions. And my argument is that in this world, a lot of people have problem with money. A lot of people worry about money. A lot of people worry so much about money, and their worry is coming from the money that they don't have to take care of their house or their home, to buy the car, to build the house that they want to build, to marry, to go to school. That is the level of worry that they have with money. That is not the kind of worry that I think you should have. I think the kind of worry that you should have is the destiny that you want to create and the money that you need to get to that destiny. And destiny is always, or the purpose is always linked to the problems that you solve. And so when you are committed to solving problems for mankind, when you're offering solutions, business solutions, money becomes unlimited to you. You see the world differently. That you can offer, if anything, you can even look at, oh, I want to roast corn and sell. And that will shift your mind as to how money is made. By the time you get the first offer, the second offer, the third offer, you see that money is differently. Because money is in abundance. It's only limited to the one who is looking for money for himself. And that's why they control us. That's why you're looking for the visa to travel. That's why you're looking for a better job. That's why you're lying, you're cheating. You pick the gun to go and shoot somebody because you think money is difficult to have. So you have to take another person's life to get it. You think money is difficult to have, so you have to keep cheating and lying to get it. You think money is difficult, so you have to become a politician and lie everywhere so that you can get it. And you are impatient. That's why we don't have it. And that's why a lot of people around the world don't have money. That is why. Because of the programming. They told us a lot of wrong things about money. They told us. And we believed them. And we continue to believe them. And people continue to believe them. People will continue to believe them. I can tell you that. So the belief that it's difficult to get money. It's tough. And life is tough. It's difficult. Not everybody will be rich. Money is scarce. Money is blood. So you have to kill to get it. You have to sweat to get it. Those are the people who look at money for livelihood. Those who see money as a link to realizing their dreams, their purpose, solving problems. Money is unlimited. Money is unlimited. It's in abundance. It's in abundance. And every level that you have, if I don't have to be the 100 billion CD owner to see that money is unlimited. It's a fair shift. And then the network, the systems that you can build will show how much you can go. But you need to break that first limiting belief that you are poor. It's a limiting belief to think that somebody else was born to be rich and you were born to be poor. It's a limiting belief to think that you have to struggle all your life to get food to eat, to get a house to build, to get school fees. And you have to write every exam to get a better job so that you can become rich. No. Money, as the word operates, and as how it is now, money follows creative thinking. It follows innovation. It follows solving problems for society. It follows diligence, patience. So money is never what they told you it is. So never believe that. And people have believed those things. That's why we are poor, or that's why people are poor. Africans, our knowledge on money is what? Work for it, cheat for it, lie for it, kill for it. Because we only look for the money to build a house for ourselves, to buy a car for ourselves, to buy clothes for ourselves, to go back to school for ourselves, build a political career for ourselves. If you think that you're a politician and you have to get into politics to solve problems for the society, money will never be a problem. But if you think that you have to become a politician so you can steal for yourself, money is a problem to you. You have not shifted that mind. And so Africans have been trained to look at money as a problem, and their solution is only looking at it as something that God provides. So it's in the supernatural, it's in mysticism, it's spiritual. So we have to go to church to pray for it and depend on God. Even when you are daring and you're persevering and you're steady and you want to become better, you see that the community around you will stop you. from studying this. The community will stop you. They will talk you down. They will talk you out of learning how to make money. Some of them will even tell you you are flesh. You know, you worry about the things of this world. It's a product of problem solving for society. And so many of the people don't see the importance of developing themselves to get the right knowledge on money and have to solve the money problems. And the right kind of money problems that we have to solve is not the one at the personal level. It's the one that is between you and the solutions that you have to give to this world before you go. And so Christians, particularly those in Africa, have been conditioned to look to God to solve their financial problems. And that is a major problem. God is not the one responsible to solve your financial problems. You are responsible. So instead of us using creative thinking, innovation, entrepreneurship, financial knowledge to solve the money problems that we have, we wait for magic. We wait for magic. Wait for magic. Never wait for magic. Never wait for magic. Raise your purpose so high that the only problem that you have to solve is the problem to get to the destiny that you have, the life purpose that you have. If you want to build universities for people, if you want to build hospitals for people, if you want to become the president, if you want to become the evangelist, if you want to become the preacher, if you want to become the teacher, that is how do you get those problems solved. That should be your concern, you know. And so never believe that money is limited. It's not limited. Never believe that you can work on salary all your life, change jobs and become financially rich. No, especially with that limited knowledge that you have on finance, on money. That is so special. There are laws that people have found out. There are laws on money, principles people have found out. And there is no spiritual way of driving, and there's no spiritual way, and there's no fleshly way of driving. Driving is driving, just like money. It's only used on this earth. So find the facts that people have found out. 90% of the world population will continue to worry about money all the time because of the wrong ideas that we have on money. And a lot of them we have in our country, you know, because we don't see money as a product of something. And there are laws, there are strategies, there are systems that people have developed and seen. That's why they have abundance of it. And there are other people who never study it, and they are praying for it. They are working salary every day for it, and it never comes. And if you have lived for a while, you know that it never comes. And it's one of the problems that people have all their lives. They worry about money every day till they die, because they did not take the pain to learn it. They did not take the pain to study it. They did not take the pain to take the risk to get it, to have a thinking. Because that idea that creates money comes to us all the time. And that's why they say the source of money is God. It's true. Because the source of wealth is God. Because the ideas that are coming to us every day, we didn't create the ideas. They hit you because God put them there. And so those ideas continue to come because those ideas, the ones that you're taking hold, every one of them that you take hold has the potential to create the richness. But decide, it's a decision that I want to be rich, and there's nothing evil about it. I want to be rich. And then you have a plan to be rich. And then you study how to be rich. Don't go and study how to become a teacher, how to become a doctor, and then leave out how to become rich. Study it. If you don't become the richest man in your community, at least you'll be able to have money to build something and live for the next generation. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can build a whole university for your country. You can build a whole secondary school for your country. You can build a whole hospital for your country. You can pay for people's school fees, sponsor 1,000 people, 20 people. You can create businesses and give employment to people. You can do a lot when you have that option. And that is the essence of money. The essence of money is not just you getting food on your table. And that's why people who only concern themselves with that never get money. If you meet anybody who is always concerned about what to put on their table, what to drive, where to live, they will never have money. Not in abundance of it. Because money flows with the idea that is linked to changing lives, with the idea that is linked to solving problems for society. That is where the abundance of money is. So people who go to any community, the people who control money are people who are solving problems, who are thinking, who are planning, who are taking risk. So if you are the one who is just passionate about getting a job so that I can get a car and then land somewhere, people get the first pay to go and buy a land so that they can stop paying rent. That's a weak knowledge of money. It's a weak knowledge of money. You will never stop having money problems until you shift that way of looking at money. So my name is Kwabena. I have tried to talk about money problems, and it's a genuine problem that a lot of people have, and a lot of people are going to have all their lives, because the problem is not really the money. The problem is the knowledge that they gave us on the money. All of us were given some bit of knowledge on money which was not true, and so they told you to choose the right course so that you can get a job. They told you to move to America so that you'll be rich. They told you to become an engineer so that you'll be rich. They told you to go and work in that industry so you'll be rich. And your focus has always been just to feed your family. You can never solve money problems that way. Not the lack of it. Never. Never. So there is abundance of money in this world. Don't believe that you cannot be rich. Every one of us can be rich. Just shift that thinking, especially the richness that towards what you can do for mankind. It's a thinking, and know that money follows strategies, follows ideas, right ideas, perseverance, thinking, diligence. Not the salary. I'm not talking of salary here. So if you see any problem and you go forward to solve it, and you can create a business entity around it, you see the world from abundance point of view. You see the world. And that's why the people who have created world, Dangote and all those guys, that is how they see the world. They don't see the world as you sitting down to check monthly how much you're paid and being happy, and how do you spend the money on yourself. And that's why when you worry about money every day, that's why when they reduce the salary or they threaten to fire you, you are scared. Because money is a problem for the one who is selfish, who's always looking for themselves alone, without solving problems for society. So the one who has committed to solving problems for society, creating businesses, creating jobs, solving issues for life for people, those are the ones who are able to see money differently. And that is the realm that you need a lot of people to be. And so thank you very much for taking your time to watch this. Hopefully it was good information for you, and you may share it with your friends. And let's see one bit at a time. We are trying to regenerate the thinking of the African. Because if you look around the world, our only way to solve problems is to wait for God. That's the African. As if God was only made for the African. And God gave us brains. God gave us mind. God gave us information. God gave us laws. We don't study those laws. We don't follow them. We don't learn them. Then we are worrying about God all the time. And they have given us a lot of limiting belief systems, the limiting information, dependency, a victim's mindset, lack mindset that they have given us. And those show in our environment. Because when you go to any environment at all, the physical is evidence, or they show the structure of our mind. All that you may see around, that's what we think about. That's why we create that. If you see the gutter and it's dirty, if you see all those things that are dirty around, and if you see all the attention that we give to things that will never, because if you think of it, if a continent has many problems like what we have, we still get time to spend 90% of our time talking about things that will never solve these problems that are so much important. And a lot of our problems are money issues anyway. Structural thinking, you know. Our problems are developmental problems. Yet we spend a lot of hours talking about things that will never contribute. We even celebrate people who have never contributed in solving the serious issues of the continent. And those are the people we celebrate. But our most serious issue, our most serious problem as Africans is the knowledge that our people possess. That knowledge is responsible for the kind of problems, the kind of environment, the kind of systems that we have built, the kind of people that we have developed. That is the problem. The way we think, the way we process information as Africans. That is a major, major problem. Because you go ahead to defend that way of thinking, those quality of knowledge, we defend them. But that is what, or that knowledge is what is responsible for the problems that we have. So instead of us challenging those thinking, coming against them, getting people who are thinking and raising those and making sure that that kind of knowledge permeates the environment so people can start to look at life differently. No. We are dancing, we are drumming, we are praying, we are jumping. And until we do that, the change will not come from within. And any change that does not come from within and that is imposed or superimposed is not the change that the people want. The change that is inspired from within is what is sustainable. And that change comes from knowledge. Quality knowledge to produce results. And that is what Africa needs. Africa is not the one celebrating the singers and the footballers. No, those are just wastes of time, really. Because our problems are that critical and enormous that any group of people would use all their energy to fight this, what is called, these problems. But we look at the problems and we are laughing and we are dancing and we are cracking jokes because of the information that we are processing. And then we wait for God to help us. It's not God, it's us. Because others have done it. Why can't we do it? And so thank you very much. I've tried to talk about money problems and money solutions. And a lot of the things that we do as a people, we don't link it to money. That's why we waste the time that we waste. That's why we make the choices that we make. Yet the money is responsible for a lot of things. People die early because of poverty. People are killed. People are diseased. People are troubled because of money. The unemployment is what? It's because people are not creating jobs. People are not looking for solutions. So when they talk about unemployment, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. That is true. Because the word employment that was created on a modern formalized employment was created out of the industrial revolution, so to say. And we are yet to experience that. So what makes you think that people are going to get employed? To work where? What industries? The things that create industries are the problem solving. The problem solving. The innovation. The creativity. Entrepreneurship. And that's where the money flows. That's where the money is unlimited. But the people are busily dancing and praying and politicking. And so Africa's problem is knowledge. Quality one. Major one. That can shift our narratives into a proud people. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Kwabena. Thank you for watching.